Hello, Teaquilters. Thank you all for waiting. Today is, I have to check my watch, Saturday, August 22nd, 2020, and we are doing sew and chat today. I am still working on pineapple blocks. I have 76 blocks now of 100. So I'm working on my next set of 8. So we're just going to wait for people to get in, and I can pull this up on my phone. We've got quite a few of you all in here early today. I'm going to take this off because it's at 100% for right now. So we only got 1 minute to start. Got my solo cup. Got a drink, and not a drink, it's like punch. Put it down there so the solo cup isn't the highlight of this video. Trying to make sure I got all my stuff set. You can see up here, this thing here. I'm gonna have to find something. I like having this here when I'm working, but it's a nuisance when I'm recording. It takes up so much space. So, and I don't know what else to do with it. Let's see. So I had my brother in here. He was the first one in here today. So I don't know how he managed that. He says, I'll be ready in 24 minutes. Betty Harris was here. She says, how is everyone doing this evening? Hope you had a great day. Robin Boyd's also here saying hello, everyone. Francis Jackson says, hi, T and everyone. Hope all is well. I received my lovely lime green wooden presser kit. And let me tell you, I'm in the middle of a paper piecing project, and the presser has really saved me. And that's where I really started using the presser, was paper piecing. And then it sold me, because I like to have all my seams nice and flat. And then I got sold when I'm doing chain piecing, and I don't want to get up and go to the iron every time. So I really love it. So I'm glad you all are using it. That's the main thing. And then I'll make an announcement about the ripper when we get more people in the room. Let's see. Gramps saying hello, T and everyone. Still working on my pineapple blocks. What does north, south, east, west mean? North, south, east, west. So when you're working on your block, when you put this square in the middle right here, when it's flat like that, not like this, because when you're piecing, sometimes your block will be like this when you're adding your strips on. But whenever your block is like this is your north, south, east, and west. And then these are your diagonals right here. And I think I said that in the pattern, but maybe you all didn't quite get it, but that's what that is. So thank you. Good question. Let's see. Susan T is here. Says hi, T and everyone. Vivian Cavia is saying hi, T and everyone. Leetta Bryant says hello, T and T Quilters. You all were in here early today, not messing around. If my volume is low, please let me know early so that I don't go through the video and then somebody come in and say my volume is low. Sometimes it goes down on my iPad. I don't do it intentionally, but it gets knocked down. So if I'm not speaking like I normally do using the iPad, please let me know. Patricia Colucios, not Colucio, it's it is Colucio. It is. I think I was putting an L in there. Hey everyone in North Carolina, hope everyone is okay. Hey everyone, it's North Carolina, hope everyone is okay. Vivian says, I'm working on my pineapple block, so that's awesome. Like, we're going to have some more pineapple quilts. Suzette Washington's here saying hi all. And she's asking, Gramps, what are you using to cut your pineapple angles? June Hansen says, hi T and everyone. Maddie Barnum is here. saying hello, T and everyone. I am ready to order now. Ready to order what, girl? Carla Ford says, hello, T. I love my presser and seam ripper stiletto combo kit. Just beautiful. Hope all is good. Hello, everybody. Well, welcome, Carla, and thank you so much for your order. Appreciate that. We're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm just trying to get more people in the chat. Mario Dennis says, hello from Montreal. Larissa's here, says, greetings, T and everyone. Melissa LePage is here saying good evening, T and everyone. Thumbs up. Thank you, Melissa. I'm gonna, you know what? She ain't even asked me. But guess what? There you go, Melissa. Lisa Peg is here, says hello there, Miss T and everyone. Good to see you. Quilt Gal says hi, T and everyone. I love my key lime combo set. Great weather in Maryland today. We had a great day, but I didn't go outside. It was actually a little chilly in my house today, which was weird for me because I'm normally not that cold. So Lisa Peg said, Miss T, sorry. She says, hi, hello there, Miss T, and everyone. Good to see you. No problem. I don't know what she's sorry for. It's all good for me. Tiffany's Quilting Life is here. She says, hello, T and friends. I got Sheila Willis here. Says, good evening, T and all quilters. Welcome, Sheila. And we've got Diane 57 says, T, I'm at the emergency hospital with my dog. She got run over. Oh my gosh. And she got a big open cut. She's only a little Pomeranian. Please pray for my fur baby. Exactly. Sorry you're going through that, Diane. I know I've had that experience with my daughter's dog where they get an injury that is no fault of yours or anybody else's, and you've got to go through that. It's very horrible. So we'll keep you in our prayers, Diane, and hopefully everything will work out for you. So sorry again that you're going through that. Just heart-stopping. Patricia says, sorry, COPD and my sugar are acting up tonight. Claudette Bettis is here saying hello, T and everyone. And people are saying they're so sorry, Diane, from Tiffany. Lisa Pegg's praying. Jennifer Foster's here. She says hello and God bless all. Thank you so much. Patricia says, sorry, Diane. Hope he is okay. Gramps saying thank you. You're welcome. Any question you have, I'll answer if I can. Maria Mayer says hello, quilters. Jackie K says hello, T and friends. Beautiful day here in Ontario, Canada. Hope everyone is smiling, happy. Melinda C says hello, T and everyone. Thumbs up. Thank you, Melinda. Appreciate that. Patricia says, T, love my set. Have used both. That's awesome. We got 54 people in here. So once I get through here, we'll talk a little bit about your sets. Deanna J says hi, T and everyone. Jackie K is saying prayers to Diane, you and your little pooch. And Gramps saying AccuQuilt. Oh, I think she's responding. Gramps is responding to somebody asking how was they cutting their pieces, and it's with AccuQuilt. Patricia Bryan is here. She says, everyone hit that thumbs up button. Hi, Patricia. Welcome, and thank you so much. Janet Mackerel's here. Says, hello, T Quilters. Let's see. Judy is here saying, hello, everyone. We've got Lena Pouliot. Hi from Maine. Hi, Lena. Welcome to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell. Let you know when we go live. Saturdays is my extra live during the pandemic, just so my new people know. We do from 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, so we do 2 hours. On Wednesday, that is my normal live time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for about an hour. Sometimes we go to an hour and a half, depending on what's going on. But welcome to the channel. And we've got, Maddie says to order my seam ripper. Oh, so she's ready to order a seam ripper. Okay. You all can email me and I'll put you all on the list when I order next time. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. We've got Kevin the Quilter here. Says, hey, T, I miss you. Hey, T Quilters. I talked to Kevin, was out having fun today with his niece. And they were shopping. He sent me pictures of fabric. I said, are you shopping? Suzette says, thanks to Gramps. Adrian Rhea says hello, everyone. And Kevin is also saying sorry to Diane. Eric Oda is here. He says, hello, hello. Don't adjust your computer screens. I am here. Hi, Eric. Welcome. Seam Ripper Eric. You talking about that's me. Nisimas waving says, hey, T and everybody. My screen's acting up here. Hold on. Betty Bainey, it says, glad to catch you again. It's been a while for me. Well, welcome back, Betty. Appreciate you coming in here. Sandra Adger is here, says hello all. Elaine Doucette's here saying hello. And that's it for right now. So we'll start back where Eric's saying hi to Tiffany, if I can find it, at 9:08 p.m. So again, we're just sewing, doing sewing chat. You all know I don't normally do too much sewing when I'm actually here, because I do like to see what you all are talking about in the chat as well. So I'll do some sewing. I have been sewing for the past week since last Saturday. I had 60 blocks when I left. Now I am at 76 blocks, and I'm chain piecing on my next 8 set of blocks at my E-piece. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm on my 4th round of 9. Takes a while to get around them, but I'm enjoying it. I want to get these 100 blocks done. That's my goal. So that's what I'm currently working on. In regards, I'm going to come back and just sew on this. So I'm not really doing any education on the pineapple. We're just here doing sew and chat. I sew for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll go and read some of the chat comments. Do know that I may miss some chat comments, because after so many comments, it won't let me go. It only will let me go back so far. So keep that in mind as well. So if I missed your question, and if I'm reading comments, just go ahead and pop it back in there again, and hopefully I'll get to it. If not, just keep trying. It's not intentional. I'll answer everything, even if it's a I don't know or I refuse to say. Okay? Mostly it's a I don't know. I tend to tell you if I know. Because I don't ever want to like make something up acting like I know everything, and I do realize that I don't know everything. So what else? Oh, the seam ripper sets. I got an email today from somebody that they had dropped their seam ripper and the seam ripper tip broke. That can happen with your regular rippers as well. I had one of my cheap rippers drop, and that's how I killed my last one. It hit the floor and just broke. The point went down and it broke. So if you have a ripper, and I know that they cost a lot of money for the ripper and the stiletto, so what I have done is I have contacted him, and I have placed the order to get some replacement parts. I only ordered like 3 of each piece, just so that if you all do break your ripper, that I'll have a few of them here, and then as I use them, or when I order in October, I'll try to order a little bit more. But I wanted to go ahead and get some replacement pieces, because that can happen to anybody. And anytime you get something new and it's pretty, and then you drop it and you break it, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, I want to make sure that you're able to use your product, even if it's, you know, you dropped it, you got to get a replacement. But it's not something that you have to throw away. Those replacement parts can be bought. And I think, I don't have the price because I just emailed him. I didn't even look it up. But I'm assuming that they're like $5 and whatever it would take to ship it to you, $2 or $3. I don't know what that, because I have to do the weight on that. But I'm thinking, well, it's probably going to be like maybe $3 or $4, because I don't think they do any packages less than $3. So it'd probably be between $3 and $4 for me to ship it to you. So just keep that in mind, that if you damage your ripper, and let me just pull it out so you all can know what I'm talking about. This is the actual ripper here, and she broke the point on this ripper and thought that it was gone, that she wasn't going to be able to use it anymore. But you can get this unit here. This is what will come when you get it. And so you can buy the replacement parts for the ripper as well as the stiletto. And you know, if you know that you might want to go ahead and order this when I place my order in October, and just leave me with the ones that I got now for people that have accidents. This might be something that you might want to put on your reorder list if you have this device. You can always just put this up and have a spare in storage if you want to do that as well. Then you'll be getting them both at the same time, and then you're not having to pay that shipping over again. But just something to think about. Don't panic though, because I think she panicked. She thought that was the end of it. But the nice thing is that anything that comes out, most times you can buy the replacement to put something else back in. And I do know that, I don't have it in here, I have one that's glass blown, and this girl had one, and I forgot what company she said made it, and she said that it was broken. And I don't think it comes out though. So when you're buying things like this at quilt shows, make sure that if you're trying to buy one that's glass blown, because some of us might collect seam rippers. I know I collect pin cushions. It's like I can't use all the pin cushions I got, but I got a whole shelf of them, okay? So if you are a collector of seam rippers, just make sure that it can come out. If it's glued in or sealed in and we don't know how it's sealed in there, it could be Gorilla Glue where it's not going to come out. Then if you break the tip, then your whole ripper is a done deal. So be careful when you're buying them if you plan to use them. So let me see who else is coming in. I saw a lot of comments coming up. Let's see. Got to go back. Sandra Weston is here saying hello T and everyone. Judy is saying so sorry to Diane 57. And Judy is also telling her dog has been hurt. She said he was hit by a car or something. Patricia says good for you T. Let's see, Vivian. I feel mine too much. I feel mine too much use. I don't know what Patricia's talking about. My brother's here. He said, hey sis, I'm back. You have my thumbs up already. Hi everyone. Hope everyone stays safe. Well, thank you so much, sir. I already read your first comment. You were in here first. Oh, she dulled it. Okay, so she dulled hers. She used it too much. Oh my gosh. See, on my other one, I've never even had an issue with it dulling. That's so weird. Let me look at this. Now I'm in inspection mode. What are y'all cutting? I don't know. And I did use this last week. Because after I got off the live, remember those last 8 seam pieces I sold? They were all sold on the wrong side of the block. I had sold the light piece to where color go. So I had to use the ripper to take them apart. But I have never had my ripper go dull. So that's interesting. So I'm going to order in October. If you want me to order replacements for you all, just let me know. And then I'll put them... I'll just add them to my October list. If yours is already out, I ordered 3. So that's all I have. So I'm asking for your honesty. If you need it now, just send me an email. And then if you don't, then we can wait and put it on the order that I'm sending in the first week in October. Oh my gosh. Jennifer Foster here. She says, how far into this pineapple sew along are y'all? I'm pretty new to quilting, so do I have the skills and time to catch up? Hi, Jennifer. First of all, welcome to the channel. It depends on how you're cutting. If you're going to cut by, say, templates that are in the pattern, then it's going to take you a while. But some people know how to stack cut, like Tiffany, and can get a lot of cutting done by stack cutting. Most of us are using a die cutting machine, most of us, and I know there are like maybe 5 or 6 people that have told me themselves that they're actually cutting. They're in no rush to get this done. So I am going to be working on this pineapple quilt. I still got 24 more blocks to make. I am going to be putting it together, and then I'm also going to be putting the other pineapple quilt that I have the blocks ready to go together. So I'm going to be working on the pineapple quilt for a while on Saturday sews. that you will see. And then I'm also planning to be working around the clock, kind of like I did this week, if I get time. I just decided that this week I needed to spend some time in my sewing room as well. I have been spending a lot of time on the Teaquilts business side, but not really any time on the Teaquilts personal side. So I want to get these quilts done. So I am trying to work a little bit every day to get some sewing in if I can. So can you catch up? It's not a race. You don't have to finish with us. You can always get started. Ask questions if you have any questions. We also can answer your questions in our Facebook group where you can post pictures, and then you'll have people that can help you out there as well, because we'll get to see exactly where you are stuck. Okay, so it's not a race. You can still work on it at your own pace. Shell Klutz here saying hello everyone. Diane says Dolly is at an emergency vet and they won't let us in, so we are outside waiting. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that was happening. Oh my gosh, I thought they would just go ahead and let you into the room and then just wipe the, wipe the surfaces that people would touch down or something. But that's horrible. I feel so sorry for you, Diane. And Mary saying, Jennifer, this is her third one using various methods. That's true. The one back here is also cut with AccuQuilt. The other blocks, not these that I'm working on, but the other blocks were cut using Guyleen Fitzgerald's method, because I wanted to try her method as well. But I personally prefer the AccuQuilt die cutting way, or using the templates, because when you cut, you got all the angles and you know exactly where things get lined up. But that's just my personal preference. It's not to say that one is better than the other. Kevin's telling Ray, I thought I was a good brother, but I think you have me beat. Carol Green's in here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Larissa says, T, I think my set came at my other house today, so thank you. I'm excited because I got the Wi-Fi set up today at my second, so I can start vlogging and doing my videos in my new room. I will do a tour. And I was starting to ask you which address, where should I mail your stuff, but I had no idea, so I just used the address you had provided before, so sorry about that. Barbara Coleman is here. She says, hey, Miss T, is that a new machine? No, it is not. It is the Baby Lock. It's the same machine. Let me just tone this light down a little bit. It's the same Baby Lock Elagio. It's not a new machine. I'm thinking about a new machine, though. It's just crazy. Let's see. Teresa Louise, I Quilt 2 is here. Says, hi, T and everyone. Welcome, Teresa. Patricia says, no, my first seam ripper, not this one. Okay, awesome, because I was getting ready to say, how did you use this so fast? All right, thank you for clarifying that. Let's see, Mary at T and Eric, I looked up that Cleopatra block. Wow, one would need that die cut. Yeah, and there's some people that block is an old pattern that people used to make with just cardboard templates. So, it is. But for me, if I'm going to make it, it would definitely be die cutting. And I did go on today and ordered some die cuts. And you all would never know what in the world I ordered. I ordered the Olsen face mask for the studio. And then I ordered the Storm at Sea, because I've been wanting to get that. And you can use like some of the other dies, but when you start working with things like the Storm at Sea, and it's just basically you're making a square and a square and a square, but they have such weird measurements. And at first I was like, you know what, I'll just use my regular half square and quarter square dies that I got here already. And then I'm like, you know what, by the time I start trying to figure out what size is this, and then it's going to be one that's going to be right in the middle, I just decided to go ahead and just order the die, and then I can just be done with it. But I got Storm at Sea, and also another similar block to Storm at Sea is the Snail's Trail. They got it in an 8-inch, so I bought it too. And then got the Cleopatra die for free for spending a minimum of $250. So I got that. I did have 2 other people that I know of that purchased something today. They got the Cleopatra die as well. So thank you guys for doing that and using my link. I appreciate that. I know who you are. I'm not going to say your names though. Okay, but I appreciate your support. Does your Studio 2 fold up? Try to figure out, do you have the first one that came or the revised Studio? I have the first Studio that came, and then they sold us a kit that I was able to take the other arms off and put on the new arms, and it was pretty quick. And I still got my old arms out in the, I put them in my garage in a shelf, just in case if I ever get, like, I don't know when that's going to happen, but a really big studio and I decide that I could leave it out all the time. Most of the time my arms are down anyway, but every once in a while when I go through and clean up, then I might put the arms up. But most times the arms are down and I start piling stuff on it. You know how we do. But yeah, so I use them as little shelves or something. But I do have the Studio 1 I originally purchased. They came out with the Studio 2. And at the same time, they bought a kit that you can take your 1 and make it into a 2. So I have a revised 2, but you would never know that because they also give you the new logos that say Studio 2. So they take care of all of that because it's technically the same thing. But that was a good question as well. Jennifer says, ugh, I don't have a die yet. I do cut pretty good by the grace of God. Okay, thank you so much. I may just watch and go back and try to catch the next one from the start. All right. And then we've got Joan Elkins. She says, hi, T and everyone. Deanna J says, T, I want to buy the new Story Path die. Do you think you will do a video on that one? I probably will not be doing a video on that one anytime soon because I asked Wednesday for people to give me suggestions. And I bought what I bought, and I probably won't be buying anything for a while. I got 4 dies coming, so I gotta, use them. So I don't want to, I don't see me buying any more dies unless they do some kind of super fantastic sale. So I'll never say never, but we'll see. Linda says, and I won't, they won't let anyone go in. When you arrive at the vet, you call them and they come out and get your dog from the car. See, I didn't know that. So I need to make sure we keep these dogs safe. I didn't know that. I know that I can drop my dog off at the groomer and they'll let me in. They only let 2 people check in at a time. No. Yeah. Oh, it's 1. It might just be one check-in at a time. And then you're not really touching anything. You're kind of just passing your dog over and they just make sure they got the correct name and what it is you want, and then you're kind of in and out. But I had never been to the vet, so that's good to know. Barbara Coleman says, I hear you, nothing wrong with a new machine. And it's only because sometimes things just kind of you have in your head that you want to try something and then it sort of kind of falls into your lap. So that's kind of what's happening here. I'm just trying to decide if I want to spend the money, and I also need to do some research on the machine because I don't know a whole lot about it because it's a brand I haven't used, and I do want to increase my brand usage, so it will not be a Baby Lock. It will not be a Singer. Those are the 2 that I tend to buy all the time. So we're going to wait and see on that. We'll see. I'm going to do some research, and then I may make an appointment so that I can go and sew on it and then see if I like how it sews, and then we'll go from there. And then Kevin ain't no good. He's talking about goody, goody, goody. We got more dies. Laughing out loud. Yes, we do. I think once I get through cutting pineapples, which it's going to be a while because I'm going to give Kevin the die so he can start cutting, making some pineapple quilts or something. I might need some more quilts in my lecture. But I got so many things in my head that I want to do with the pineapple Even when I finish these two, I still want to use that dye so that I can do some other things with it. And it'll just be one quilt, but kind of mixing some stuff up. T, I have some pieces started and ready to do snails at sea or storm at sea. I am waiting on black fabric to continue. That's pretty cool. And black was hard to find. I have seen a little bit of black in the store recently. Is Quilt Week happening in September, or is it rescheduled for next year? I don't know about any quilt shows that are happening this year, so I'm not the one to ask. But as far as I recall, everything was canceled regarding quilt shows this year. I asked because I decided not to go get the electric one. I want the hand turn. And I do love my studio. That crank is totally different than the handle that's on the go. So I fully understand that. I actually love my studio. I've only used this electric one just for this pineapple quilt. And then I did something where I demoed it in one of my other AccuQuilt dyes things. Otherwise, it's closed. I actually bought it for classes when I teach classes. But I'm actually using it with this. I think I may have some, I think they're talking about fabric. Kelly A says, hello, Miss T and everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend so far. Welcome, Kelly. Yes, I am. And Deanna says, I got the Cleopatra fan last Christmas when they had good studio sales. Yes, they do. And they do have that Cleopatra dye on the studio, but if it's going to be free, I just went ahead and got the free one, because how many Cleopatras are we going to make? If I make one block or a wall hanging, it's going to be a miracle, okay? That's why I was trying to get other people to get the dye, and maybe we could do a sew along something, or like do it on our Zooms or something, you know. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Eric says, get an industrial machine. They're actually cheaper than most other domestic machines. I do realize that, but that's not where I'm going right now. That still is on my to get list. It's a domestic machine, an industrial machine. Ellie says, I want to get a small dog, but my husband keeps telling me no, it'd have to be a big dog. See, I'd rather have a small dog for the small poop over the big poop. So it's just all a matter of what you want to deal with. Jennifer says, we went to vet. Someone tried to cut a kitty's tail off when he got out. The vet had to amputate most of his tail. We couldn't go in either. People are cruel, praying for Diane and Pup. That's just terrible. Look at the Janome M7. Just got one really nice machine. I already got a machine, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Or I have an idea of a machine, and that's just gonna be. This machine is from somebody I personally know that's like getting rid of a machine. So it's not like I have a choice of which machine I'm getting. It's not that type of deal. Eric says, I have been pricing industrial. That's Cheryl telling Eric. And Larissa saying sorry that her dog got hit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like a couple of seams for you all. You know we don't get any sewing done, right? We do more chatting. So I am actually on my 4th round of 9. Got a lot to go to get to this level. 37 pieces is in this block. So I want to make 100 blocks. And if I'm doing that, that means I have 3,700 pieces in my block. So I don't really care about what goes next, other than I try to just mix the colors up a little bit. So I'm just sewing. All my pieces were cut with the AccuQuilt Go die. Got all my nice angles, so I don't have to worry about trimming after the fact. That part I really, really like about the AccuQuilt system. Even if you cut it from templates from the AccuQuilt system, you can still cut those side angles, and it makes all the difference when you're putting this stuff together. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to spread these out because I seem to be using a lot of green right now. Trying to find some other colors when I've already got a green one there. But most of my pieces are green in this particular stack. Now I got plenty more pieces up here that I could pull from, but I'm just trying to use them as they come for the most part. For the most part, every once in a while I may go, I'm tired of looking at this fabric, let's go find something else. So I'll go through the stack and try to find some different fabrics. But I figure by the time I make 100 blocks, these things should be well mixed up. But we shall see. Every once in a while my edge will get caught, my little tip want to go down. And it always happens when I'm live. I can sew 20 blocks with no issues and then go live and have a problem. Just how things go. I didn't even check to see what time I started sewing, so who knows where I'll start up. I think that's that one. Just try to mix them up so I'm not putting the same color, because I don't want my blocks to look like a particular color. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm putting in all the colors into a block, not making a blue block or a purple block. You could do that if that's the design you want to make, but that's not what I'm trying to do for this particular quilt. And for my new people, I don't know if you can see, but I do sew with a knee lift, so that way I can have both my hands available for my pieces, and I don't have to worry about lifting my foot pedal or having my piece get caught as I'm trying to go up under my presser foot. So I do love using a knee lift. And it looks like I'm going to have to get more pieces. I just pulled down some random pieces. I didn't count this time. So I'm going to need more pieces. Okay, and then I'm also chain piecing, not that one, but this one. Chain piecing on another set, and again just trying to not put the same color next to the same color I already have. So not really being picky, but just not the same color, because I want to mix it up. Also, you got other people here that have channels. If you are bored looking for other channels to view, you can try Tiffany's Quilting Life. She does mostly live videos where she's sewing. And then also Teresa Louise, I Quilt Too, has a channel as well. Okay, so I just skipped a side. Okay. I just put, it's not on the wrong side, it's just that I didn't go like counterclockwise. It doesn't really matter on the pineapple quilt how you put your pieces on. I like to keep them all consistent so that they all make a nice stack as I'm working, but you know, I got creative and put it in a different spot. That happens every now and then. What else can I tell you all about? You know, I forgot to show you all what I had actually bought in Columbia too. I forgot to show that on Wednesday. And it's not in this room, so I got to remember that again. Trying to make sure. I have to go look around here to make sure. All right. So we got 2 more pieces that goes on here on each block. So I'm going to try to sew those before I read any more chats. I know I see them coming up, but I don't know if they're for me or somebody else. And then I just cut my chain piece one off. Go ahead and press that seam. And put it up there. So as I'm working on 8, I'm also at the same time chain piecing on another 4. So by the time I get through with these 8, these other 4 will be ready, and I'll be actually probably ending with 12 blocks instead of 8. And if not this time, it definitely will happen the next time. So I'm looking forward to getting these 12 done, because then that means I'll only need to make 12 more blocks after I finish these 12. So I can see the finish line. I see the light. That's got the same colors. I was on the Go Marketplace today, and I found, or yesterday, and I found somebody selling an AccuQuilt Go with the value die that comes with it, the mat, and the book. There was a book with it, and then they had 3 other dies as well. And they were only asking $125 for it. So, and it was in the St. Louis area. So I thought that was a really awesome deal. So I posted in the Facebook group of Teaquilts to let people, ask people if anybody was interested, because I thought that was a great deal. That, you know, if I didn't have a Go in a studio, I would have definitely purchased that. So, it was a fabulous find. It had only been on there 2 hours when I asked the question. So I hope somebody I know purchased it. I had 3 people inquiring about it, so provided them with the information. I don't know if they got it or not, though. Oops. This is my chain block, and I'm sewing a small piece onto it. As you sow, so shall you rip. Let me give you another tip for those that have the seam ripper. When you're pulling off your end, because one end is the seam ripper here, I hope you can see that, and then the other end is the stiletto, right? Most times when you're trying to pull off your end, I would always pull off the stiletto end. Just always happen that way. So what I do is I looked at my seam ripper, and I just look at how it's designed. Like, I just turned it around and just look how my wood plays out. Everybody's is going to be different because of where your block of wood starts and finish. For me, I had this dot right here, this side here, small dot up at the top. That lets me know that that is my seam ripper side. Just a tip for those that have it, and you keep pulling out the stiletto when you want to rip. And put that back. That was a quick rip. And now I don't even need to to do that, because I had to break my thread, right? So it's just a process of assembly line. I like to do, instead of doing one block at a time, I suggest doing 4, 8, 10, 12 blocks, whatever your lucky number is at a time. So that way you can chain piece them through. And then again, I'm even chain piecing in between making my blocks, making other blocks. So it's amazing how much you can get done. I think this is my second set of chain piecing using these blocks. Maybe my third. Maybe it's my third set, because it should be done this time. And so I've made 4 extra blocks while I've been making my sets of 8. Makes it really cool. Gotta turn that one. That's the one that's going the wrong direction. All right. So now we're on the last side. So I'm going to continue to sew. And when I get this part on and get it pressed, then I'll read some comments. Make sure I didn't get my dog ear in there since I had nothing to chain on. Oops. My machine came unthreaded. That's unusual. I guess it didn't like that start because there's no stitches in that. Guess I didn't hold it. Thought I had my thumb on it. We'll make sure we hold it again. And then I want to cut this thread off before I forget. All right, almost there. I have to get at least 1 or 2 rounds, so I don't get much done when I'm doing a live sewing chat. So once I start sewing, I try to at least go all the way around. And this one wasn't too bad because I already had 1 piece on. So I'm only having to do 3 of them instead of 4. So, but most of you all know that I don't get much sewing done. I like to answer people questions, try to be of assistance. So that's my main goal. I can sew when I cut the camera off. All green pieces. Well, put them on here. I was trying to pull some different fabric. I guess that's all I had was different greens, I guess. And this is the main reason I haven't started putting my other blocks together, my other 76 blocks, because working on scrap quilts is always an opportunity to add in new fabrics. But if I start putting rows together, and then I'm using new fabric and all the new fabric is at the bottom of the quilt, it's too late. I can't mix it in. So I like to make my blocks, add in as many fabrics as I want, when I want, don't have to worry about it, and then I can go ahead and mix my pieces up before I start sewing them into rows. And I've used so many different fabrics here that when I first start sewing my pieces together, I'm not even going to lay them out. I'm just going to start sewing them and just making sure that none of the pieces line up next to each other. So that's the great thing about using lots of scraps. It takes you longer to make a quilt using lots of scraps because you got to touch more fabric. But I like quilts with lots of fabrics. And I'm sure I have at least 300 or more pieces of fabric in here. I did not count, but I have touched so many pieces of fabric to make this quilt. Now we're going to press. So that way I can get them ready for the next step. Okay, so next set will be E again. I'm using E pieces. Let's see what's going on in the comments. I gotta find where we left off, guys. Eric says, how many pieces sounds like a bunny hunter quilt? It's 3,700 pieces total. It's 37 pieces per block, and I'm making 100. T Black is here. Hi. She says, hi, T and all. Barbara says, have you tried the Creative Grids pineapple ruler? You have the die cut, so you're good. No, I haven't tried the Creative Grids pineapple ruler, and I probably will not buy any more pineapple tools because I did one, and it just isn't my favorite way of doing it. Graham says, I had the Cleopatra die for about 3 years, haven't used it yet. I know it's intimidating. I got the double wedding ring now. I did like loan it to my group, and we made a group project for one of our quilting friends where we did a double wedding ring bed topper. So we made it so that it goes on the bottom of her bed. So she had about 2 or 3 rows. I can't remember how many we did. And then we made sure it went from one side to the other side. But it was really pretty, but it was a lot of work. And I only did like maybe 4 or 5 blocks out of that. So I still got to make the double wedding ring quilt at some point in my life. Lisa says, T, would you rent that pineapple dyeing machine out? I need to make my granddaughter one, laughing out loud. If you are local in St. Louis, yes, you could use it. But I am not mailing anything out. It takes too much weight to mail. That's why I didn't, because I started to buy that AccuQuilt Go and then see if anybody wanted to buy it. But then by the time I would have done shipping and all of that, I felt like it was going to get costly. That machine with just that one die is $300, and I felt for $125 with 4 dies. I thought that was a great deal. So, but I thought about it, but I go, nope, don't do it. Patricia says, if you guys could post on your site when you are on with the times and dates, it would be helpful so I can put it on a sheet so I can keep up with everyone. It would be helpful. That's a great idea. Ellie says, I will be getting a new embroidery machine, and it sews as well. It's the Bernina B70, but what I like about it most is the price. Very affordable, very nice. I have not looked up anything Bernina. I know a lot of you all have gotten the 770 Quilters edition. So I need to look up some machines, and I need to look up what I'm looking into purchasing or thinking about purchasing as well. My Janome works, but sometimes it struggles when doing all vinyl. I think when you sew vinyl, you've got to put like some tissue paper, or I use even cheap typing paper underneath. I never sew with vinyl touching the bed of my machine because it's just going to cling. So I tend to put a piece of paper under. Freezer paper will work as well. I've used that. Some kind of thin paper that's going to be easy to tear off your vinyl. Pat Criswell says, how many times do you go around? I think 9. Patricia says, I have the 6600 and it goes through anything. She says it goes through anything, so with sewing. Patricia, Tiffany's talking about when she's on. Ellie says, well, T, at least you get to do some sewing tonight. Laughing out loud. Yes, I went around once. Patricia says, my phone sometimes doesn't work right. That's why, besides I get sleep crazy, I'm trying to get my schedule right. Eric says, the way I know which side is the seam ripper and which side is the stiletto. He says he colors with nail polish. He colored the metal with different nail polish colors. So that's a good idea too. But I just looked at mine and realized that I didn't have to mark anything. I'm have to eventually put my name on here or something, because so many people bought this color neon when we go on retreat, so I know it's mine. But I just happened to know that I had that little dot right up on the top. It was really cool, so I didn't have to like mess with my surface. But that's a good idea too, Eric. I sometimes used to color nail polish on my 1/4 inch line down on my bobbin cover as well. I've done that instead of using tape. Ellie says, T, I see you got yourself a new set. Cool, too cool. I got myself 3 sets, and then I sold one. I still kept one because I'm like, you got to keep one in case somebody is asking about it. So I got the 4-piece set that I'm keeping just to demo, and then I bought myself another set for here. I took this the one I had in here and put it in my long arm video recording off, you know, in the long arm area. And then I bought another set, key lime, which I ended up selling. I bought key lime so that I could put into my sewing bag that will stay in my sewing bag. But I like having things set up so when I'm ready to go for a day out of sewing, I'm not like looking everywhere to figure out where packing up this and that. I can just pick up the bag and just go. And my son is going to set my TV in my sewing room so I will be able to sew and listen at the same time. That's the whole goal. That's what our Zooms are about. We're having a Zoom meeting tomorrow. It's actually Eric's birthday. We're going to start at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Eric set up the Zooms for us. If you're interested in that, the information is in the Teaquilts LLC Facebook group. So we try to do some sewing where everybody is in their sewing room sewing, but every once in a while we'll see somebody in their lazy boy. They've had a long day and that's all that they can do, or they may be doing some crocheting or whatever. You don't have to actually be quilting, but we'd like to see everybody and try to put some faces to the names. When is the next time you are going to do the bags of scraps giveaway? I have no idea. I have a friend that I talked to her today, and she was saying that she's been cleaning her home and she's going through sewing stuff, and she's got like 7 bags of scraps. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with 7 bags of scraps? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some pineapple pieces out of the fabrics that I don't have already cut and used. And then I may end up having some more bags, but I don't know. I may hold them off for like Christmas giveaways or something like that. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't like have a set time. I know I did for my birthday, which was just last month, Miss Ellie. And I did 5 bags for 3 weeks. I sent out 15 gifts. That's a lot for me to pay in shipping. So I don't want to do anything right now. Okay. So, and some of them I didn't have a choice. I had to send them priority. So I spent on some of them, I was spending like $9–10 just to ship people bags of scraps. So, you know, it can be a little costly. The first time I went to the post office, I left $75 in shipping, okay? Because I didn't realize I needed to keep my scrap bags under, scrap bag with the packaging and everything on it. I need to keep it under a pound so I can just send it first class. If it's over a pound, then I have to send it priority mail, and that's where it really jumps up. No, 3,700, Eric, not 30,000. Tiffany saying, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That thumbs up for T. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate that. She says, how big do the blocks end up? They're 10-inch blocks finished. Let's see. Kim Burris came in. She says, hello, TNT Quilters. Hi, Kim. Welcome. And let's see. Oh, Patricia saying that she used nail polish on her different feet for her different machines because she has different sewing machines. So that way she knows which foot goes to what machine. And I may have to eventually do that. I do know that my Singer feet are wider. The part that snaps on is wider on my Singer than it is on my Baby Locks. And those are the two that I use the most. So I don't have to mark those, but I probably will have to start marking if I get another machine because it'll be totally different. Francesca's here. She says, hello, T and everyone. Hi, Francesca. And Kevin in here singing, go, Eric. Go, Eric. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. You didn't expect me to start singing, right? And he says, yep, zoom, zoom, tomorrow night. Okay, here's another song. Come on and zoom, 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 zoom. Come on and zoom, 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 zoom. Come on, give it a try. Anybody remember that? I'm going to bathe the girls. I am here. That's Tiffany doing double duty. Get ready because we're going to play some games. That's Eric. Uh-oh. Ellie says, yeah, that was my second set is for when I go to retreat or to a crop. So, yeah, she's talking about the sets, the wood sets. Tiffany says, just can't chat when I wash their hair. You got that right. Kevin says, T, you're going to let your good friend Kevin go through them scrap bags? Laughing out. You can definitely go through those scrap bags. You only going to get like 10 fabrics anyway, you know. We know how you are. Each machine had a different color to keep them straight. That's Patricia. I have 9 different machines. And she's saying that it works great. It says, I will help you in the cost when you do it next time to help you with the blessing of scraps to us quilters. Well, that's nice. Appreciate that. People are starting to say happy birthday to Eric. He is so unappreciative. He go, oh no, she's singing. Kelly says, I remember it, T. Eric says, okay, let me join in. Do you remember the 21st night of September? Yeah. Where we were line dancing. Where I was, you all were chicken. And we were also singing just out at the quilt show in Houston. We out at in the front entrance in the lobby area. And we just started singing the song. Francis Jackson says, good night all. See you guys on Wednesday or next chat. So good night. It's 10 o'clock now. We do have another hour for those that want to hang out. And I see a couple more stuff. Oh, they're saying good night to Francis. So this might be a good time for me to take a drink and do some more sewing. Okay, I think I need ease again. Make sure before I count these out. Because sometimes I count out and be the wrong size. And I'm running out of light pieces again now. So I had to cut some light pieces so that I could do this one. I was toward the end of my previous set of 8 and was starting to not have a lot of choices. So did a lot of cutting and still am running out. I'm trying not to overcut too much now since I'm getting toward the end, but I still got quite a few blocks to make. Trying to make sure I keep my stacks straight. When they start getting around the same size, it gets a little confusing which stack I'm pulling from. I got 75% still. Let me see if I can put this up here and see some as I'm doing this. Eric talking about we were in a Jack-in-the-Box when I started dancing. He is so rude. He don't even appreciate me. People are saying happy birthday to Eric. And then Patricia says, each machine has its own decal color. Used for that color of polish to match them. Otherwise, I still would get them mixed up. I guess you have to cross code it back to your machine or use a color on that machine or something. But I had put nail polish on my Singer. It's still on my Singer. I've had that machine for many years, over 20, and it's still, that nail polish never wore off. Kelly is asking Eric, it's his birthday today or tomorrow? He says, he hasn't answered that one yet. Ellie says, Eric, how do I get connected to Zoom chat tomorrow? And then, Ellie, are you part of Teaquilts on Facebook group? That's from Eric. I appreciate T so much. She makes the bestest pound cake. He is so bad. He is so bad. Okay, so if you're on the Facebook page, the Zoom is a pinned post. What a pinned post is on Facebook is that when you come to the group, it'll give you the first thing to do is to make a post. Then right up under that is a list of all the pinned posts. That post is showing first as a pinned post right now on the page. So you should, all the links and everything is in that post. But I'm sure Eric is answering in the chat as well. Just take a little longer to type. And Tiffany says, okay, hair washed. And again, the live is tomorrow. It's not tonight. Kevin says, T sure does make a mean pound cake. I don't know what you all talking about. What pound cake? Eric's still saying thank you for the birthday shout outs. That's really nice. Somebody asked him if his birthday was today or tomorrow. I don't know if he answered that and I missed it. So, Eric, let me know. Your birthday today or tomorrow? I'm also going to do birthday shout outs for the month. If you're wanting to have me do shout outs for you, we'll do once a month, the beginning, the first live of the month, we'll do birthday shout outs. Just email me your birthday. And I'm making a list. People are asking, oh, are we going to sew or play or both? They're asking Eric. Play games, sew, or both? Birthday is tomorrow. Thank you. Ray, you still here? Get the pound cake recipe. Ah, that's funny. Oh, and then Kevin's being funny, talking about, you know, the one with 0 calories, T? Yeah, Kevin was on a diet when I made the pound cake. And then it was so funny because I had been cooking other stuff. And I'm like, you can't eat it because you're on a diet. And he's like, why didn't you save me some of that so I could taste it? I'm like, you're on a diet. So then I said, okay, he's being funny. So I was going to his house to sew. So I said, okay, I'm taking pound cake. And he goes, you know I'm on a diet, don't you? It's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And it says, I like pound cake a lot. Yummy. It will be at the next Teaquilts retreat. Whenever that is. I have been saying, I made one. The last time I made a cake was Mother's Day. I thought I was going to make it for Father's Day. I did not. I thought I was going to make it for my birthday. I did not. I thought I would have made it a long time ago. My mother has even bought 90% of the ingredients. My mom bulk buys everything. She came and gave me like 4 pounds of butter, 2 boxes of what did she give me? Two of the containers of baking powder. I'm like, now I didn't get upset about that one because even though the cake doesn't take a lot of baking powder, pancakes do. So I'm like, I'll just use this on my pancakes. And then what else did she get? She got butter, baking powder. She got 3 things. I can't remember what the last one was. And I'm like, how many cakes does this lady think I'm making? And I haven't made one cake since she gave me all of that. Put the butter in the freezer. And I've been making plenty of pancakes though. He says, T, are you going to make it for our retreat at Missouri Star Quilt Company? And my brother saying yes. Yes to what? Like you're going to steal the cake, or yes, you're still, or the recipe, or you still here? You know, I don't know if I'm going. I need more information, Eric. You the one that's got the end. I know nothing. Talking about our next retreat. Where are we staying? Do you have a room? Because that's the hard thing about Missouri Star having anything is where are you staying? Because there's not many rooms unless you're somebody is allowing them to use single rooms in the retreat center. I don't know. But we'll have to see how this winter go for me. If we have a lot of stuff going on this winter, I may not be going anywhere next year. So I'm kind of in wait mode as far as planning anything. But Eric and I will talk when he gets more information, I'm sure. Especially if he wants pound cake. You can be sewing and playing the games. It's a bunch of questions, he says. Okay. I have my grandmother's pound cake recipe, not a single calorie in it. You got that right, Kim. Got that right. My hips are proof that I love cake. That's from Lisa. Yeah, I love good food, period. That's what My motto is if I don't like it, I'm not gonna eat it, because if I'm gonna gain weight, I don't want to gain weight just eating food. I want to gain weight saying, well, it was really good, you know. So I tend not to eat stuff if I don't like it. I want to waste my calories, you know. Your mom sounds like my mom. She thinks Costco is the corner grocery store. You got that right. She goes to Sam's. And that woman go in there and buy stuff. Oh my God. And then she tells me, oh, I got this for you. And I'm like, really? How many cakes am I making? Oh, she got the sugar. That's what it was. That was the third thing, the sugar. It's like, goodness. He said, Mary said they're all married with large families. You got that right. When you know how to bake, it's a little bit easier. You start feeding people and you can cook. Yeah, people love to eat some good food. And Mary talking about not my hips, but my arms, my chin, my thighs. Yes, Lord. Tiffany, to email T if you want to add your birthday to the shout outs, teaquilts@teaquilts.com. Thank you, Tiffany. And she's got that space in there just so that it doesn't pull up for the spammers, guys. So take the space out of the Teaquilts and the @ otherwise it'll work just fine. Thank you. Ellie says, count me in for that retreat whenever that will take place. I already set a large amount of savings for that trip. Laughing out now, not playing smiles. Yeah, I had us booked for 18 people that I had to cancel. So those 18 people will get first dips on the room. I'm gonna try to see if I can get more space when they start back booking. They're not even open yet. That facility has not even opened. They have not released retreat centers in Missouri. I know some people going on retreats, but in Illinois, but they have not released any in Missouri. And so I don't know what's happening with that. We haven't even met. Our quilt guild still hasn't met. My scrap club still hasn't met. Those facilities have not opened up for the public. It's been a while. Oh, this one goes up there. I'm like, why does this look different? Okay, so I just put on the lights. Okay. I forget sometimes that I don't pull my first chain piece off, and then it looks weird when I'm starting to press my seams. Like, huh? But nothing to rip, thank goodness. So I'm hoping that we can get the room that I have for retreat. It will hold at least 30 people comfortably, where everybody has their own table. So I just need to get the bedrooms for that. That's the problem, is the bedrooms. Joan Elkin says she's making a list and checking it twice. Got that right, Joan. Mary says, I went out today for the first time in many. That's good. I think we all need to get out. Even if you don't go anywhere, I think you need to at least step outside your home. I think I'm getting strings in my cup. So I guess I should put that back up there. I don't want to drink my scraps. Robin says, yes, my boss walked around with no mask. Now she has COVID. See? People are, I don't know why we're so stubborn about the mask. I know a lot of people still just don't believe that anything is out there, and they feel like the government is trying to tell them what to do and all that kind of stuff. But for my safety, my mom's safety, because I have to make sure, I'm putting the wrong piece on again. I have to make sure, because I didn't pull them down. So now I'm over here pulling these pieces that go onto my bigger blocks. And we didn't want to use the seam ripper, so I just ripped it right off. Let's see. I think I'm doing E pieces. And I need them in colors. Preferably not a whole lot of green. But, you know, have to use what I got. Seems like I keep using a lot of that. And then I'm trying not to get duplicates. This is one I haven't seen, another. So yeah, I like when I start to get some different fabrics. I don't always make my piles neat when I put them back up either. And just putting some out. Maybe I'll put one green out there. And we'll see if that's enough. Eric says, Lisa, real women have curves, so can real men, I'm thinking is what he's trying to say. Yeah, let me fix this one. I've just about ripped off all the fabric. Now I gotta hold this thread. I keep forgetting that part because I don't have to do that often. Make sure it starts. Yep, I was gonna put a piece on here that was gonna overshoot the end. We don't want that. Kim says, I have curves all convex. I guess I could put that over there. It looks like the same green, but it has sparkles, so it's okay. It's different. Well, I'm praying to the daddy that he will let this all take place, T, for you to do the retreat. And I didn't schedule it for next year, the retreat, the next retreat. See, I do my retreats on, I do the Teaquilts retreats on even number year. Even number. The retreat Eric Nem is talking about is different. That's for Missouri Star. They're having a grand opening of Nancy's Notions. So that's what Eric is talking about. Teaquilts retreat, the next one is not even scheduled until 2022. And it'll be in the month of June, like the 3rd Tuesday through Sunday you would depart. So whatever those dates are, that's when the next retreat is if you want to put it on your calendar. I will probably start planning it like next early summer, late spring next year, where I'll start looking for deposits and stuff like that, just so I can get head count and I can get the number of beds that we're going to use. I'm trying to do it earlier this time so we can see if we can get more beds. I have a deposit down from the people that already signed up when I canceled for this year. So I have 18 beds already. But I need, if we're getting more people, by then more people are going to want to come. Those people still want to come. So I'm going to try to see if I can get more beds. Sheila says, I'm one of the baker in my family. My cousin is the other one. That's nice. And then, like my daughter, she likes to bake. She actually was selling cakes. She was using my recipe to sell cakes. And because when you do fondant cakes, like she was doing wedding cakes, anniversary cakes, and when you start using fondant, you need a nice solid cake to hold the weight of all of that when you're doing all that decoration. But she had the nerve to call me talking about making a cake. I'm like, you know how to make the cake. She don't want to go through all the work. And then it's like when I make a cake, I don't get but a slice or two, me and my husband, because I have to start sending cake to my mom and send it to my niece and send it to my daughter. It's like we have no more cake. The cake is gone. So my daughter know how to make it and won't make it. I haven't seen her in a little bit too. Well, she's also been trying to stay because she knows how I am about COVID. So she has been kind of trying to stay away. So when I canceled my birthday, I haven't seen her since then. So it was so funny. My nephew came, my niece came over. She lives in the neighborhood, and then her son, he's older. He's about 20, 21, something like that. He stopped by with her. He just happened to be with her. He lives on his own. And he come up all so happy to see me, trying to give me a hug. It's like, back up. Back up. He's like, I can't give you a hug. I'm like, absolutely not. He's a barber too, you know. So no. Absolutely not. I'm trying to make sure that I'm as safe as I can be because of my mom, you know. It's like, no. And Robin says, me too, I'm ready for the retreat. Yeah, I mean, we were so disappointed that we had to cancel that retreat. When you start looking forward to stuff, a lot of people worked clinical. We had a couple of nurses, I think, and people were so excited that they were going to get a chance to take a vacation from work. You know, had been working through all the COVID stuff, you know, helping other people, looking forward to a little time off. And when it got canceled, I mean, it was a little bit heartbreaking, but you have to do safety first. So, and I had done a vote to see who wanted to still have it and who didn't and that kind of thing. And most people still wanted to do it, and just because it was only 18 of us in a room that would seat 30 something, the tables could have been far enough away from each other that we could have done the distance thing there. So that wasn't the problem, but yep, but the facility never reopened. It's still not open. So trying to see what can I put here next. Just a different color blue, I guess. This is my fourth piece. And then I'll read some chats, and I'll probably chat with you guys till the end. And then I would have completed almost 2 rounds tonight, which is probably more than I get done with you guys on any other night, especially when they're this size, because it takes longer to sew than when I first start blocks. I tend to do about 3 rounds of the small blocks in a live, so put that up there and continue putting these on. Let's see. So, and I put a Stouffer's lasagna. Their lasagna is actually pretty good. I put that in the oven before I came here. I cooked it before I came in here. It's actually out. So I could eat, and I'll probably come back in here and sew a little bit, or maybe I'll just go. I need to look at some YouTube videos. That's what I need to do for that sewing machine. I've been putting that off for 2 days. I need to do that. So maybe that's what I'll do. I tend to want to watch things that I'm used to watching, or doing things that I'm used to doing. It's like, nope, you need to do that. You need to make a decision. Okay, we're getting close to no choices, so then I'll just pull it back over here because I need other colors. You can't put all this green and blue together. I haven't even seen purple in a while. Let's see if I got purple in here. Here's a purple one. We'll start with that. So just trying to not make a block look a particular color. It's getting difficult. And I got plenty of pieces cut out. It's just what's coming up on top of the stack, you know. I got plenty of fabrics. And Lisa is saying, count me in for the Missouri Star Quilt Company whenever the time comes. Already saving money. I know it's March of next year, that 2021. I don't know the dates though. But I have a feeling it's going to be jam-packed up in there. Tiffany's got her kids bathed. She says, I'm not doing that anymore because my legs went numb again. Girl, that's bending over and stuff. And let's see. Vivian says, I'm on the East Coast. Good night, everybody. Bye, Vivian. Yeah, it's a little hour later there for her, so I do understand that. That's why we moved up the Zoom time an hour. I know Tiffany is on some Sundays. She tried to do a minimum of an hour. And then we'll just go ahead and start, and when you all get a chance, you can just come over, and we're trying to do 2 hours. So I think I'm done with these now. I was trying to pull more out. I have no pieces. That up there, chain piece off onto something else, and then we can press these seams. So good night to everybody that's leaving. I think that's Vivian so far. If I miss somebody that's going out now, good night. My husband is cooking to make barbecue, and the smell is getting to me to stay focused because it's making me hungry, laughing out loud. That's the same thing happened to me today. My husband, I was working at the computer. I think I was trying to communicate with the guy about an order so that I could get, you know, ordering the extra pieces I need and things like that. And I started smelling bacon. Because I was trying to see if he would just send me a small order. And he said he would. He says, for you, I'll do anything. So I was happy about that. So I didn't have to wait until October to get her replacement for her seam ripper, so that's good. And I don't know, I have to go read on the U.S. United States Postal Service site, USPS. I need to go read and see what the intentions are for the mail. They mentioned something about price increase from October through Christmas or something. And most times when things go up, we all know they don't go back down. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Kelly says, I appreciate good bakers. I'm not one of them. I enjoy cooking, but view recipes as guidelines. I mix more of this, less of that, add stuff not in the recipe. Can't do that with baking. Nope. And that's the one thing, most recipes you have to be precise, but some of them you can be a little lenient. But when you start using yeast and stuff, it's not playing. You got to be right on the money. I love to cook, love to bake, but just me here, so I share a lot. That's pretty cool. She still gets to do it. I have not been home for the whole time I work for the eye doctor, and these patients have real eye problems and have to be seen. Wow. Wow. Wait, what? I'm talking about what? Kelly says, you can share with me as often as you like, Kim. Mary says, T, what is the date? For Teaquilts retreat or the Missouri Star Quilt Company retreat. I'm not sure what you're asking for. Teaquilts retreat is not until the third Tuesday in June of 22. I don't know when Missouri Star Quilt Company thing is. It's just March. You have to ask Eric about that date. And maybe Eric has already put it in here. You got to come cook with me, Kim, and fatten me up. Lord knows I can use more than a few pounds. Ah. She talking about, oh, okay, I got it. So I can pay my money for this in 2022. And that way my spot is secure. Because they had already fully paid for retreat for 2020, I refunded the money minus $25 fee that I needed to hold the rooms. It was a little bit more than that, but I had a person that kind of dropped out, so I had a little bit extra money that I was able to use at the facility. So that's kind of what I did, was I held the beds with that money. I don't really want to take retreat stuff right now because I'm busy with other stuff. So just hold off. I'll remember that you want to go, or I'll know, because you're in here all the time. So just hold on to all of that, okay? And when I get to my computer, I'll just try to just put your name down. But I'm not interested in any deposits, because I need to make sure that I just don't even see how we're going to meet as a guild in the future, okay? So many things are changing. I'm just hoping that we're even able to have retreats again. So I just want to make sure I'm not receiving money and then having to send money back. Is anyone else soaking sweat? It's like 10,000 degrees in California, I guess. Oh, so we are in the same state with Kelly Kim. So she's in Kansas City area, which is close to Missouri Star Quilt Company, which is 4 hours, 4.5 hours, depending on where you are starting from in St. Louis. 4.5 hours trip. Independence, Missouri. I'm a few blocks east of Kansas City. Mary says, T, that is a strange feeling, people. We have always hugged and we can't now. Yes, it is. All quilting events are canceled. No retreats, no quilt shows. That's part of the reason I wanted to start a Zoom thing. It may not be a retreat, but at least we can chat and sew together. That's right. And we get to see other people. I think part of the pandemic is that we're like missing the socialization that we had. So I think that's why a lot of people are on the chats, you know, going to the live chats that people have. But the Zooms make it so that we can communicate together, and you're not just me reading like what I'm doing now. People can actually hear your voice. You say your own stuff. So I appreciate Eric doing that for us. And Kevin, do you offer curbside with your lasagna? You can come get some lasagna if you want lasagna. It'll be here tomorrow. I got one of the big family packs just because it was at Sam's and it was cheaper to get that than if I had gone to the regular grocery store and bought the smaller one. So got plenty. What type of sewing machine are you looking to buy? I ain't looking to buy anything. I'm just gonna keep that for right now, and then check into it, because if I don't get it, it'll be because maybe I don't like the features or something. I'm one of those weird people that if I don't like the way that it stops sewing, if like I'll give you an example. It won't be a Viking, because it makes this weird noise every time it stops and cuts. And for some reason, I get the cut stuff on other machines. Other machines just cut and it's done. The Vikings gotta go and that bothered me for some reason. I have no idea why. I just didn't like the way it started sewing, and I didn't like the way that it cut. So it will not be a Viking. Mary says, I'm ready at Kelly and Kim. They're trying to, I think they're trying to meet up to eat. And Eric says, truth be told, I'm just lonely. I think we all are missing people. I went to my friend's house to drop off. I told you I was going to give her birthday stuff. And I think she was just, we've been staying outside each other's house ever since this pandemic. And she was like, come on in. I said, well, let me, because I'm thinking we're going to be outside. I did have my mask. And she says, I'm going to put a mask on. I said, well, it's your house, so I don't know what difference a mask is going to make for her. So, but we ended up talking. People just need to talk, you know? Mary says she made a little tiny Kansas University's mask for a little friend today. That's cute. So, you know, if masks required and at least some social distancing, hand sanitizers and temps before entering, adults should be allowed to choose. And I guess that's kind of like when you go to the grocery store. I like one of our local quilt shops. You know, if you're going to go into the quilt shops, they still have a person at the door making sure that they're not over capacity for the new social distancing they have. Each building, they tell you how many people can fit into your square footage. And they have somebody there, and they have even masks for you. They even have the hand sanitizer. And I just use it going and coming. When I'm coming in, I use it, and when I go out, I use it again. And that, I think, helps them because, you know, us quilters, we're shopping. We're touchy-feely. We've got to touch the fabric. And so when you're touching stuff, they're just ensuring that everybody has used a hand sanitizer so that you can touch stuff, because otherwise they don't want you to touch it, because then they're not sure if you've got COVID and you're putting it onto the cloth, and the next person come along, it's not going to be hours later, it's going to be minutes, you know. So I do like, and that's Jackman's, and I do like that they do that. And I haven't been in any other store where they've had that at the front door, hand sanitizer for you. And then when they don't, I go back to my car, and that's the first thing I do is I get my hand sanitizer. Kim's telling Kevin, curbside could be arranged with some advance notice. And probably a huge tip. That's from Eric. It's 10:42, so we got like 18 more minutes. I'm not going to do any more sewing for those that are just hanging around. I'm just kind of chatting with you guys. If you got any questions, I don't know if I'll get to them because I don't know how many comments are down in here, but I'm trying to just go through some of the comments. Let's see. Tiffany says, I'll only be free motion quilting as much as I can tomorrow, but as soon as I'm off, I already told Scott movie night is delayed because I'm going to Zoom with my friends. Yeah, we were in that first Facebook group. We were in there till like, it was after 3:30 a.m. and we started at 9. I said, this is ridiculous. But the last time we did the Zoom, I think we did like 3 hours or so, and then people decided, okay. But we're shooting for 2 hours. And then as people leave, that's fine. And if Eric just wants to shut it down at 2, that's fine too. But we're shooting for 2 hours. Okay, cue music, lonely. I am lonely. I need somebody to call my own. Eric's a mess. When I was out today, I felt like I'd been on vacation and was just getting back home. It was surreal. That was from Mary, yes. Tiffany is talking about her husband doesn't even wear a shirt, so he may scare everybody with his bare body hair. Jennifer says, thank you. I was nice to sew with company for a change. I'm usually sitting here in my living room or bedroom sewing all alone, but seriously, it's been so nice to feel like I'm not alone. Exactly. And that's what this chat was originally asked for by Doris. Oh, she's not in here today. And then a lot of people also wanted it once she brought it up. Just another day, especially on a weekend. A lot of us quilters, we're not people that are out anyway, and then especially at night when it gets quiet. Everybody is not a person that goes to bed at 9. I know I'm not. So for us that are up, this kind of helps them. So Jackie says, good night all. Time to turn in. Take care, and God keep you all safe. Thank you so much, Jackie. We'll see you next time. She's probably long gone by now. Sarah's here from Quilting for the Soul. Let's see. T, is your retreat over a weekend? My retreat is 5 nights. Tuesday night through a Sunday night. Kim says that Jennifer Foster, this is a great group. Well, thank you, Kim. I have met quite a few of the people I've met not quite a few, but I've met some of the people in the chat, and we tend to have a good time. I've met some at quilt shows, had people just come up to me and tell me who they are, take pictures, and of course I probably forget who they are by the time I get home because so much is going on. But I do know a few of you that I, know by face. I'll never forget. But yeah, so it's always fun to meet quilters. I do think we have a great group of quilters in this group. I have met quite a few of you at quilt shows. And Ellie's saying she'll hold off about the money, so I'm really behind. Cam says she's 2 hours from Missouri Star Quilt Company. Lisa says her Janome makes that sound when it cut. I'm going to cut on this baby lock so you all can hear it, but I don't normally like cut when I'm doing stuff like this, but it's just a cut, okay? It cuts. The other one, it makes this whole, it's like, what are you doing? It is so weird. But I didn't know Janome's did that, but I could almost imagine, well, now, because Janome and Viking are grouped together with a singer, although they don't want to talk about it much, but they are. I think I got one more piece I got to put on here. So let me just put this on the bottom. Oh, Sheila says she has a brother and it makes that noise. Kim says, I have 2 Vikings and the cutter is the only thing I don't like. It takes too long. Yes, and I'm like looking at, and the funny thing was I never even sewed on the machine. I did because I think one of my students was having problems, and so I think that's why I was on it, because I used to sew, I used to do quilt classes for a sewing vat place, and I was their instructor. So I would have to help people when they were having difficulty with the machine, although I never had a Viking, so I was doing very basic stuff. But when I had to sit down and sew just to see if her machine was sewing right, and then the cutter and all of that, I was like, this is too much. It was too much to start. It was too much to cut. So, and other than that, I think the Vikings are a great machine. That's the only thing. It's like, but you got to do that every time. So I couldn't do it. And the lady wanted me so bad because I was her teacher. And at the time, all I had was Singer in my repertoire. I didn't have any other sewing machines. And she says, you know, she was trying to get me to buy another machine by a Viking because I was their teacher and stuff. I wasn't even bringing my machine to class. I would sew on their machines when I needed to demo. But I was like, I can't buy this machine. And eventually, she never insisted, but she kept asking me about it. And so eventually I just told her that I wasn't going to be able to teach anymore because I just didn't want me to be harassed into buying a machine that I didn't want to buy. But you sell Singer, but you don't want to talk about it. So it was kind of weird. Gina says, T, you are so right. The Viking does make a weird noise and your demonstration was funny. That is funny. Don't forget if you want to Zoom to join Teaquilts Facebook group, and the link is the pinned post down there. Thank you, Tiffany, just going all the way, getting links and stuff. Diane 57 ain't here, so she normally the one going out grabbing all this stuff. So thank you so much, Tiffany. Sheila says, I've been wearing a mask ever since March. I make my own, and I have wear them 8 to 10 hours a day. Wow. And see, I'm so glad that I'm retired because I worked in a facility and everybody has to wear them. Everybody is being tested once a week. And if somebody in your department gets it, then you're being tested every day. And so, because we have patients. And so I'm like, I am so glad I am not working to be getting that test at least once a week. That's a lot. Robin says, I went to a quilt store. She squirts hand sanitizer as you walk in. I love that. Because we are touchy-feely people. Ellie says, girl, I know, trust me, but my husband reminds me his money is my money and my money is mine. And I test him with that statement every day. I can't wait to see this studio. Shell says, I get to go on a retreat in 2 weeks. 12 of us rented a lodge. Well, that's nice. Robin saying, T, sign me up for a Teaquilts retreat. I don't know. I can't remember who was on the list anymore. It's been too much going through my brain. I can't remember who was on the quilt retreat list before. Eric says, come to think of it, I've never been to a quilting retreat. I finished putting away most fabric and cleaning my cutting table, T. Hopefully it's still that way tomorrow night and y'all can see it on Zoom. That's Kelly. She's cleaning up. I don't even waste my time right now. I don't have time for cleaning. If I clean up, then I can't sew. And I want to get these 100 blocks done. So that's funny. Sheila says she works for an eye doctor. He's cat surgery. Wait a minute. He's cataract surgery, I guess, and we travel to a different county in Tennessee. Do you know some phrasing? So they're asking Mary questions. Robin says, I live in the suburb of Chicago. Okay. So that's like, it depends on which side you're on. Probably like 5 hours from St. Louis area. Then depends on where you're going. 5 hours to the St. Louis, Illinois exchange. And then, but you can come in so many different ways from Illinois. I never go straight through downtown to come home. Let's see. I'm trying to skip some of these. My single Quattrum 9960 makes that noise too. And see, and I don't even use that machine that much, so I probably haven't even noticed it. But I'm thinking that that's because it's now under the Viking Husqvarna name, but they don't tell you that. And my friend actually still has that machine. I have not seen her. I need to finish. I had to take some stitching out of one of her baby quilts. But you all have been keeping me so busy that she's not in a hurry for it. So I haven't gotten it. But I think she's gotten her machine back out the shop by now. But that's why she has it. I haven't used it. That's another one of my travel machines. My kids keeps coming into my room asking if I was still on Facebook, laughing out loud. Not Facebook, YouTube tonight. We'll be on Zoom tomorrow. So I'm trying to see if I can just drop down a little bit and make sure there's nothing on the bottom. Okay, we're getting close to the bottom. It's some of the ladies in my guild just ready to see people. T, as we get older, we don't like a lot of noise, laughing out loud. That could be it too, but this has been, I can't remember when I quit. It must have been at least 7, 8 years or so ago that I quit teaching at the sewing back. I can't remember now. I have so much stuff going on. I was working full-time at the time, so yeah. And Deanna says she has the Juki 2010Q. That's the same as mine's, Deanna. That's from Tiffany. Robin says, yes, please. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I get these names. Okay. My Juki is 2 threads and needles and 2 in loopers. And also I have a baby lock that is a helicopter of a machine, and it has 3. My Juki is 2 thread and needles. Joan says my Foff does that too. Make the exact sound you made, laughing out loud. See, and the funny thing, my husband, we go on a road trip. Me, him, my daughter, his daughter. And we're in the car singing. And we pick up all the background weird noises in the music. You know, like sometimes they might have seashells, or they could be just tapping on something like this. And we're actually doing those type of sounds. We're not singing the song. We're not on the main course of the music. It was terrible. But we all pick up on certain noises and beats. Ugh. Eugenia says, Quilter, I only hope to see you all tomorrow to celebrate Eric's birthday. It's really nice and comfortable platform. Please hope to see you tomorrow. Well, thank you, Regina. Thanks for popping in. Regina was in the last Zoom. We had a great time. And Eric says he has the 2010Q, but not currently using it. He says, I'm going to bake a persimmon cake and sing happy birthday to Eric tomorrow. Well, that's nice. Eric says, I wish Costco were open right now. I'd be sitting in the freezer. Wow, it must be really hot up in there. But we got like 3 minutes. If you got a question, quilt related, any of the new people still here, I know it's been a while. People are starting to leave out. Thank you all so much for coming. Appreciate you all spending time with us. I like the Zoom even better because I get to see some of you guys too. So I'm getting some more comments coming up, but we'll just wait for a minute. See, Lisa said, Eric's talking. Lisa said, I'll be camping out on the toilet eating that cake. He's so silly. Carol Green's telling everybody good night as well. She's getting prepared for the end of the night. We're going to get ready to close this out in a little bit unless we get some quilt related questions. And Kelly says, ooh, Juki 2010Q currently on sale for $1,000. That's good price. So June Hansen is saying good night to everybody. If anybody got any quilt related questions, new people, or just anything with questions, feel free to pop it in here before we sign off. We only got a couple minutes left. Jennifer says, I appreciate you. Thank you all again. Good night. Got to finish my Ohio Star quilt. I'm excited to find you all. God bless. Thank you, Jennifer. See you soon. My brother's here saying good night, everyone. Stay safe. And Sarah says good night, T, and everybody. God bless you all. Have a blessed night. Did you answer my question about how big your blocks are at T? Yes, I did. I said they were 10 inches. You probably were hurting them knees and stuff, hurting that back. Cherie at Topic City says, I have been lurking due to shoulder replacement and can't type well. Well, thank you for being here with us as well. T, do you have the Cleopatra die? I am getting it. I just ordered it today because it was free. So otherwise, I had been eyeing it, but knowing that I probably would only make a block or 3 because it does look like it's very involved, but I thought I might want to try it once. So I have not had it before, but it will be on its way, I'm sure, one day next week. What was the first quilt you made, T? It was a Christmas sampler quilt. I was actually a sewer. I started sewing in '86. In 1994, they my sewing store, the sewing store, not a quilt shops, started giving out a block, 2 blocks a month actually, because it started in July, and they gave us free patterns, and so I started sewing from there, just self-taught with quilting. I've been sewing for years and self-taught with quilting because if I can make a whole outfit, I can, you know, make a quilt, right? Yeah, until I got to the 1/4 inch seam. Are you crazy? This is gonna fall apart. Too funny. Janet says good night all. Enjoy. Thank you, Janet. If I ever get downstairs and I pull out the quilt, I'll bring it so you all can see it, but it is hilarious what I did with that quilt. So, okay, I was bathing them girls then. Yep, Tiffany, she says, don't forget to give T a thumbs up on your way out. So, thank you, Tiffany. So, we're going to go ahead and end here. Just wanted to answer the last few questions. Thank you all again. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the people who are using the AccuQuilt links. I have been seeing payments come in. So, I appreciate that as well because you could just buy it anyway without me getting any credit. So, I've used the credit to go and buy some more dies that hopefully I'll be sitting here doing some sewing with at some point. Hopefully. You know, we buy stuff and then it don't get used, and I'm still working on pineapple right now. So, but I do want to do the Cleopatra, and I do want to do, I like the Storm at Sea, but I might do the Snail's Trails. Who knows what I'll do next, but I do have 4 dies coming. I'll probably end up doing a video on the Olsen mask as well, since I ordered it just in case this pandemic goes on longer or we need masks in the future. I decided to go ahead and break down and buy the dye so I don't have to do the cutting, because I do kind of like the contoured shape, but I just didn't want to cut them out, and I didn't want to buy the dye at regular price, and they finally put it, it was only $15 off in their clearance, but something is better than nothing, so I went ahead and bought that. And then I also used my link as well to make sure I got credit for that sale. So, and Kelly is laughing. She says, I thought the same thing when I first started quilting. 1/4 inch seam. Now, when I sew clothes, 5/8 inch seam seems huge. You got that right. But thanks, everybody. People are saying good night in the chat box. Again, Zoom tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Whenever you all finish with Tiffany, it's fine when you come in, so don't rush out if she's still going. We're not trying to compete with Tiffany. It's just that we had some people on the East Coast that it's a little bit late for them, so we just bumped it back an hour. So take care, everybody. Stay blessed and stay safe. Good night.